All right, so that's about some of the global stories. But taking a look back home and how markets ended yesterday. Now, it was another weak day of trade on the Wall Street yesterday as Nifty extended its decline for the fourth straight sessions, beg your pardon. This is after facing resistance around that 25,100 level. Nifty Bank also ended in the red, closing below that 55,200 mark. Underperformance continued for broader indices as well for the third consecutive session. Snehi is standing by to take us through all the market action yesterday. Snehi, over to you.
Well, yes, an absolutely subdued day of trade for the market. You had Nifty that ended with cuts of about 0.4% and close to the day's low, something for the Nifty 25,050 thereabouts is what we've seen. Sensex 2.5% cut coming in, so that is also something to watch out for. But you had steeper cuts coming in from Nifty Bank, about 0.7% lower, but things got worse in the broader end of the market because the Nifty mid-cap was lower by about more than 1%. Nifty small-cap index 2 down 0.8%. The advanced decline ratio was steeply in the favor of the declines, a 2:1 ratio between the declines to the advances. If you take a look at the select Nifty gainers, you had Power Grid, NTPC, HUL, Tata Consumer, JSW Steel doing pretty okay for themselves. On the flip side, big pressure coming in on names like Tata Motors, BEL, Adani Enterprises, Wipro and Jio Financial. Sectorally, if you take a look at what the market structure would look like, you only had FMCG that closed in the green, that too very nominally. So it was names like HUL, Tata Consumer, Nestle, Britannia, Dabur, Radico, Marico, Emami, all of them did well. Following that, big cuts coming in on Realty, top sectoral loser, a 2.5% cut coming in over there, with names like Godrej Property losing as much as 4%, DLF, Phoenix, Oberoi, Lodha, Prestige, all of them deeply in the red. Other than that, following these cuts were auto, energy, media, IT, banks, metals, pharma and PSU Bank. PSU Bank was the least losing sector, with FMCG once again the only sector on the flat line with a hint of a positive bias. If you take a look at some select counters or sectors that were in focus, the entire shipping stock, that basket of stocks was in focus on the back of the cabinet clearance coming in for that 70,000 crore investment in 3 defense schemes. So names like Shipping Corporation, they did well. On the flip side, our subdued moves coming in from Garden Reach, Cochin Shipyard, Mascot Docks and more from these pack. Swiggy was one stock to talk about on the back of the Instamart business transfer, as well as the idea of selling 12% stake in Rapido. That's something that they were mulling. On the back of that, despite brokerage notes that were positive for Swiggy, the stock ended with cuts of about 2.5%. So all in all, that was what the market action looked like. All eyes are going to be on when, if at all, we'll see a recovery coming on the markets, because back-to-back subdued trading sessions is something that we've seen.
All right, back-to-back subdued trading session is what we are seeing, and we also see a rather flat or muted start today as well. But what are the stocks that you need to keep on your radar? For that, my colleague Sharad is now joining us with all the stocks and news. Over to you, Sharad.
Well, our stock in focus is Polycab, and a block deal likely today as promoters are likely to sell almost 0.8% stake worth 890 odd crore rupees. The floor price is supposedly set at 7,300 rupees per share, indicating a 3% discount. Important news for Glenmark Pharma as well, as they have inked a pact with Hengrui Pharma for cancer therapy drug, and also the company will be paying an upfront payment of $18 million. Hengrui is eligible to receive regulatory and commercial milestone payments up to almost $1 billion. So very important news and a positive news coming in for Glenmark Pharma as well. Polymedicure, this is the second acquisition for them this month. They have acquired 100% stake in Italy-based device maker CTF for almost 324 crore rupees. Deal coming in at EV/EBITDA multiple of 10.2 times as per calendar year 24. Largely, it is, we could say, in line with the industry standards, and company will be gaining entry into the global orthopedics market as well. Analysts say this is a value accretive acquisition. Dr. Reddy's Labs from agencies, important news flow coming in is that the company Hetero and even Hetero have been selected for the generic HIV prevention drug for selling it at $40 a year. Now this compares with an estimated US price of around $28,000 a year for the branded Yestigo. So of course this is positive for Dr. Reddy's as well. Apart from a lot of pharma news flows, AkzoNobel would also be in focus. Yesterday there was an important block, and the key buyers include Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Societe Generale, Nippon India Mutual Fund and others buying 5% stake in the company for an amount of almost roughly 765 crore rupees.
All right, thanks Sharad for that list of stocks that we need to keep on our radar today. But Srishti is also standing by with another list. Srishti, which are the stocks that you are tracking?
Alright, so firstly let's start with Lupin. That counter will be in focus after the company has received a tentative approval from US FDA for the company's abbreviated new drug application for HIV treatment. So this is the first company that we will be watching out for. Other than that, some of these rice counters will be in focus. Stocks like LT Food, KRBL, a positive news flow coming in as the government has mandated the registration with APEDA for the non-basmati rice exports. That's the Indian Authority. And for now, the registration is mandatory, and that is indeed positive for the domestic companies. Other than that, do watch out for Piramal Enterprise as well, as NCLT has approved the merger of Piramal Enterprise with Piramal Finance, wherein Anand Piramal has been appointed as the chairman of Piramal Finance. Ajay Piramal continue to be the chairman of Piramal Group. Swati Piramal continue as the vice chairperson of Piramal Group, and Jairam Sridharan to lead the merged entity as MD and CEO. Other than that, Tata Motors as well, which has already been dealing with the JLR plant shutdowns. For today, a positive news flow coming in, wherein UK government weighs buying the parts made by JLR suppliers, and the UK government would sell parts to JLR when the production resumes. And lastly, we will watch out for Hindustan Copper as well, because internationally is the LME copper prices that has surged almost 3%. It's one of the largest producers of copper that has actually gone ahead and cut the production target, and which actually made Dr. Copper to run up almost 3% overnight. So back home, all eyes will be on some of these metal counters. Back to you.
All right, so these are the stocks that you need to watch out for in today's trading session. But with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll get you more updates on the other side. Stay tuned.